Alright folks, how's it going? The name's Steffi and welcome back to another episode of my solo RPG playthrough of the Homebrew Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition module Palace of the Fire Oracle by Adventures Away Studios. Honestly, every time I try and say the intro, I'm afraid I'm gonna give myself a tongue twister. Alright, so we are back for another episode and we are back to continue with the dungeon dive. So in the last episode we finished up the fight with the ice mephits. And now our party being led by Masher, Dunas, Krolik, and Prolovic, they're heading to the east now. So to the east, I mean I gotta check the module itself, but I don't think the module says anything else about this passageway that they're in. So let me have a quick look. In fact, do you know what I need to put up? I need to put up the dungeon map itself, because in this module, there's the GM map that has different numbers and such, telling us, telling you what's in which one. So Northern Hallway, so it's just my snippets. Okay, that is completely fine. So the party decides to go forward, and they notice that there is two rooms, one to the left, one to the right. So the question is, what room do you want to check out? First to the bottom. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to do a d20 roll. I think, am I on the right? Yes, I am on the right webpage. Okay, so 1 to 9, they're going to go to the room above. On a 10 is a reroll, and 11 to 20 to go to the one below. So let's have a look. 3. Okay, so they're going to above. So before we check out what's in that room, let's see what room it is. So that is room number 19. So room number 19 tells us, okay, so this is a summoning chamber. Okay, so the small room contains a fountain in the central covered in arcane runes. This is where the cultists perform the summoning rituals. The arcane glyphs can be read with a DC 14 Arcana check. They contain the names of various elemental planes along with the names of specific types of elemental creatures. Encounter cultists. 2 cultists and a cult fanatic are currently in the room preparing to summon another elemental. They attack as soon as the characters open the door. Pardon me, can't even what's out. Okay, so we know there's an encounter on the other side of this room, right? Also the door is here. So Masha comes up first. Now, the question is, now we need to ask ourselves, does the party check the door? Do they try and listen to the door for any noises on the other side? So let's see. 12. They do. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to do a perception check. Now, Masha's already there, so I'm going to say that Masha's going to do the perception check. So Masha's perception is a 0. It's a 0. Okay. So basically, I mean, right now they're chanting. So obviously they're chanting, they're making noise. So I'm going to say that, yeah, okay, so it's an automatic success. I mean, the passive perception's a 10. But to be fair, if you've got cultists at the back, you know, if you've got cultists at the back going, whatever the noises make, of course, they're going to hear that. So obviously, as the door is open, they attack. So they know, so the party knows that there is cultists on the other side, but they don't know if they're friendly or not. That's the thing. So we need to ask another question. Does the party just walk in, or did he do a charge in? Basically like a surprise round sort of thing. So let's see what the plan is. So do they just walk in? 1. They don't. So they assume, do the party assume the people on the other side of the door are hostile? No, they don't. So they don't know. So they don't charge in, but they don't know that they're hostile. So I think with a little bit of half DM rules, I think Masha is going to slowly open the door and stealthily and maybe try and do a wee peek in. So let's see if Masha does that. Does Masha slightly open the door and sort of just peek in quietly? No, he doesn't. So he's not going to do that. So basically, do they walk in? They don't walk in. So they don't want to go straight in. They don't assume they're hostile. So do they assume that these might be just, I don't know, What? Do they assume that these guys are people taking shelter for what's happening? No, they don't. Okay? So they don't assume that people taking shelter? They just want... Right, so do they want to go... Okay, so let's ask you a question. So obviously, the way the party is like looking at each other, they're very cautious of what's happening. They don't assume to be hostile, but at the same time, they don't want to go in. Alright? So, did they check the other room first? Yes, they do. And that is a huge 20. So, I guess they listen to the door. They hear the chanting. They're probably thinking that's something we don't want to go into just yet. Let's go check the other door. So, that's what they're going to do. So, they're going to come down to this one. After all that, eh? Okay, so we need number 20 here. Okay, so number 20 is the Temple Forge. So this room is incredibly hot and a thick smoky haze fills it. A small creature with flaming hair can be seen hammering onto an anvil in the corner. He periodically dips the red hot metal into a vat of water by his side. This creature is an Azair. He was summoned by the cultists and immediately went about making the Temple Forge his new home. He's non-hostile and will greet the creatures if they approach him. He'll also ask them if they have any gems to trade. If they do, he'll offer a suit-covered bag of holding in exchange for him. He requires at least 30 gold worth of gems to make the trade. If attacked, he fights to defend his forge. Great. Okay, right. So, they come to the other door, and they feel it. They feel an immense heat from the door. So, does Masha go in? Did they open the door and go in? They don't. So obviously, they hear the chanting from the other side, they come to the door, they feel this immense heat, and they stop. Critical 1, or nat 1, tells me that they're having second thoughts again. Maybe they feel like this isn't the place that we need to be. So, do they turn around? They do. Okay, so they turn around. Okay, so basically, they come to the two doors, they have a look and they realize maybe we're not ready for this place, or this place is maybe a little bit more dangerous than usual. So basically, they say no to both doors and they go back. Okay, or whatever the party wants to do. So they come to the intersection, so basically they all turn around. Brolock's taking the lead this time. Stay in a single file and try to stay in 5 foot squares the best they can. So they have two different options. They can go left, forward, or right. So let's do a D3 to determine which way they're going to go. Which way Brolock wants to lead the party. Well, okay, so they're going to lead him down south. Okay. So, obviously, they're going through here. Now, obviously, because of the dexterity thing, you know, moving half speed, they have to do a thingy check. I'm going to say that they just take the time and just come straight down here. Okay, then. Right. So, before opening the door, let's check out what area this is. So, this is area 2. Okay, so let's go back to 2. Wait a minute. Excuse me. I don't think I did that for 20, I don't think. Did I? I don't think I did. Okay, so number 2. So South Hall. So the long T-shaped hallway contains various doors in all directions. The ceiling has an obstacle cave in. The ceiling has caved in between the entrance of room 1 and 3. It takes 3 hours of digging to get through the rubble. Okay, so basically room 3 is right here. Okay, so obviously they don't want to go that way. So basically, they come through. I forgot the right. Nope, sorry. Sorry, I keep getting. So yeah, this is the passageway to. This is room 3, by the way. So obviously, take 3 hours of digging. Okay, so they come down the way. Like so. Right, so obviously, Brolock looks to the left, sees the rubble, and sees 2 doors to the one on the bottom. So let's have a little bit of a think. So, does Brolock want to examine the cave-in? He doesn't. Okay, doesn't care. Right, so let's do a D2. So 1 to the left, 1 to the left, 2 downwards. Okay, right, so we're going to check out the room to the left. Like so. Also, as well, I'm not going to add in Wandering Monsters or time or anything like that. Basically, you know, I'm not going to do real time or anything like that. I'm not going to do Wandering Monsters or anything. I'm just going to stick to the module and the module. If the module said that there is Wandering Monsters, I would add them into the playthrough, but I'm not going to bother. Okay, so what room is this room? So this room is number 10. Okay, let's see what number 10 is. So number 10 is the Southern Shrine. Okay, the small chamber at the shrine to the resident god embedded in the western wall. Encounter. Cultists. There are 2 cult fanatics investigating the shrine on the western wall. If the characters are quiet, they can slip past them or ambush them. Okay, so basically... So, obviously, the shrine is right here. And the 2 fanatics are probably going to be here and here, as such. Alright, so, let's ask the question. Did the party walk right in? They do. Okay, so the party walks right in. So I'm going to say, okay, so the party is just going to walk right in. So they're going to open the door. And I'm going to say that Broderick sees the 2 of them. Okay? So obviously the door opens. No. Cult Fanatic. Right, so Cult Fanatic. Because there's one thing I want to do. There's one thing I want to do. So let's go to... P3D, let's go Cult Fanatic. There we go, from the monster manual. Because I want to see the way the scene's playing in my head is obviously he's opening a door. So the Cult Fanatic has a passive perception of 11, right? So what I'm thinking is this. Let me put P3D back on. So, he opens the door, he sees the 2 cult fanatics, they're in prayer, and they have a passive perception of 11. Now, Broderick is going to see this, and the question is, does he quickly turn to the party and adopt a quieter approach? Okay, that's a reroll. No, they don't. So they're just going to go straight in. Now, do the ambush. No, hold on. So, passive perception is 11. They open the door, and then they go into attack. No. The question is, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to do, hold on. Oracle checks. One more question. Are the cult fanatics deep in prayer? They're not. Okay, so basically, the door opens, Brolic comes in, starts walking in with the party. The cult fanatics, they hear this, because they're not deep in prayer. If they were deep in prayer, I was going to do a perception check. I was going to do a perception check to the party's actual average stealth check. But the stealth checks were made with disadvantage, basically. Because, you know, like, basically, it's like you open the door, are they deep in prayer, you know, can you hear the noises of walking in? But they're not that deep in prayer to the point where basically they hear it, and an encounter has been rolled. Or an encounter has happened. Okay, right, so we have our encounter set up. So let's do this. Okay, so, first of all, we have the stat block of the cult fanatics. So right now, so like I said, Bolvik, let's open the door. The 2 fanatics that are deep in prayer has been disturbed from their prayers. And now they turn to face us. So no surprise or anything. So, in terms of the, well, the numbers are at the top, but in terms of initiative, we have Masher at 19, Broderick at 16, the Cults 2 at 11, Tunis at 8, Cults 1 at 7, and Krolix at 1. For the HP, Cults 1 has 26 HP and Cults 2 is 40. The HP rolls is 68 plus 6, but I made a little bit of a mistake with the Cultists. You can probably see in the roll box that I did get a 28, but I accidentally did a plus 8 instead of a plus 6 when calculating the HP for Cultist 1. And speaking of Cultist 1 and 2, I need to put a 1 and a 2 in the corner so I know who is 2. There we go then. So, like anything else, I have done a quick little action list for him. So this is what the Cultists are going to do. So, self non-concentrating Shield of Faith. Foe highest strength unhindered, cast Hold Person, highest priority control spell. Foe any, cast Spiritual Weapon, maximize action economy without requiring concentration. Actually, is that right? That's actually a good correction. Actually, I just realized I have the wrong one here. Give me a second. That's it. Is Spiritual Weapon concentration. Hold on, just put it here. Spiritual weapon is not concentration. Interesting. I thought spiritual weapon was concentration. Well, you learn something new every day. Saying that, I very rarely use that spell. I've used it a few times in like some CRPGs, but not used in actual play yet. It's interesting. Okay. Yep. So foe greater 50% cast command. Foe distance less than 10% cast Sacred Flame. Distance 5 action. Greater than 5 action multi or less than 5. Attack action and foe any attack throw dagger. So basically, in terms of what the fanatics have, they have light, sacred flame, vomitology, command, inflict wounds, shield of faith, whole person, spiritual weapon, and yada yada. Right, so let's finally get started then. So Masha is coming in at 19. Now Masha is at the back of the pack, so unfortunately he can't. Actually, can he move that much? He should move that. Yeah, he's moving at 30 feet. Okay, so let's see. Self, arranged, deflect, self, patient defense, full flying, Adamage, can't say shot, but has got ranged weapons, cluster of enemies, caltrops, doesn't have cluster enemies. Character is healthy, 70% higher, 1 engaged in melee, mimicry. Okay, right, so basically he's going in there. So, Masha, so obviously upon opening the door, Cultists here that Brolik shouts back to the party, we have 2 enemies in here, and Masha is just going to go straight in. So he's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, right, so basically he's just going to move all the way in, so 25. There's nothing about this room that says about any movement, debuffs or anything, so he's just going to move right in. He's going to be in melee range of both of them. So I think, who is he going to target? He's going to target Cultist 1 or Cultist 2. Let's do a D2 roll to determine who's targeting. Okay, so he's targeting number 1 then. Right, so what he needs is... Okay, so what we need is so it's going to use unarmed strike, I think, is that what he's going to use? Those HP, wooden pick. It's like Kensa weapons. Well, it doesn't have a Kensa weapon, it does have a wooden staff, so yeah, sure. Okay, so he's just going to use unarmed strikes, I think. So well, he's got a club, but it's not a staff per se. And we're back to 3 key points as well. Okay, so we want to do a D20 plus 4 for the first one. He's going to use a flurry of blows, so D20 plus 4. 10, I believe, is a miss. Their AC is 13, I believe. Yep, 13 plus 2. Yep, level armor. Okay, so the first one's a miss. And then he's going to use a bonus action, flurry of blows, so that's going to be unarmed strike, so that's D20 plus 4. That's a crit! Oh my god, that's a crit! Beautiful. So basically, that is 1d4 plus 2. And then it's double the weapon damage die, right? Yeah, it's double the weapon damage die. So that's going to be 1d4 plus 2. Wow. So 3 damage. No, it does 1 damage. So it's going to be 2. So it's going to do 4 damage on the first one. Okay. That's shite. I'll expect something nice there. So that's going to come down from... So it's going to go down from 26 to 22. And then the second one, which is going to be another... Oops, sorry. That's going to be another D20 plus 2. No, D20 plus 4, sorry. 6 is a miss. Alright. So that is a miss, and his key goes from 3 to 2. Okay, and that's going to be his turn. Okay, next person is Brovik. So Brovik is in position. So, well, we'll say that, well, actually, he was right here. So, he was right here. Okay, so we can see both of them then. Okay. Right, so Brovik, 0% highest HP, any spell hunter's mark. Well, turn itself, offline lowest HP. Weaken of dying enemies, okay. Hunter's mark. Targeting self, bow, flying, attack any, bow, flying any. Okay, well, he's got lowest HP, so I think the lowest HP is probably going to be this one here. So let's go for a, well, even though it says highest HP, which would be this guy, which would be healthy. Okay, we'll do that then. Okay, so he's going to cast Hunter's Mark onto the other guy, just so it's ready for the next kill. So let's go to here. Right, so he's already used 2 spell slots, so he's going to use no, sorry, he already used one spell slot, so he's going to use another one. So he's going to have, I'll tell you what, I'll make a wee mark here actually. Let's go C up here for concentration instead of writing it onto the token. And then let me put H M in this one, so I know. And then he's going to take a longbow shot against the one of the guy at the top then. So for that, we need a longbow, which is going to be thinking. Wait, why is that +8? He's gonna. Oh, he's gonna. Jesus, I even wait. 4 + 2. No, that should be 6. No, that's not attack bonus of 8. That's my mistake. That's not 8. That's 6. And that's not 11, by the way. That's just repeat. My repeat sign that we use here. Yeah, so that's going to be a +6. Thinking. I was going to say +8. I was like, wait, what? No, it's +6. Did I use a +8 in the last episode? I hope I didn't. Well, anyway, we know different now. Okay, so longbow shot, so D20 +6. 10 is a miss, unfortunately. Yep, it's a 13, so 10's a miss. Okay, right, so takes a shot, misses, and that's the end of his turn. Okay, right, so after that is going to be Cultist 2. Right, so Cultist 2 is within 5 feet. Okay, so let's see here. So, not concentrating, Shield of Faith. Okay, so yeah, so that's what he's going to use. Okay, so to follow the actions, so this one is going to cast Shield of Faith, so we're going to put, let's put 1, 3 out of, no. There you go, 3 out of 4, and then we're going to put SOF, Shield of Faith, AC 15 now, because it increases by +2. So if we go over to here, I'm putting Shield of Faith. So bonus action, doesn't matter if they have material components. Concentration up to 10 minutes. A shimmering field appears and surrounds a creature of choice within range, granting it a +2 bonus to AC for the duration. So that's 15. So that is a bonus action. Excuse me. And then for the main action, I'm going to say that... Okay, so they can't cast commands, so they can't do a leveled spell, but they can attack twice with daggers. So Cultist 2 is going to attack Masher with his 2 daggers. Or just 2 attacks with 1 dagger. And it's a +4. Okay then, right, so... D20, sorry. So D20 +4. Okay, the first one is a miss, definitely, because I know Masher's AC is 12, so that's a miss. And then D20 +4 is a miss as well. Alright, so that's the... Oh, so sorry, you're going to hear a noise there. I accidentally did something there. Sugar. Okay, sorry, let me go back onto PDF. Let's go back to Paint. I keep going to do that. But the numbers are there, so you're there. So yeah, so basically, Armor Class 12, both miss. That's the end of his turn. So next is Donas. Okay, so Donas, what we're doing. So, self before combat, first round of combat, cast False Life. Okay, right, so he doesn't have any more temporary hit points because it lasts for an hour, but it lasts for 8? That's a good question. Does False Life last? Because technically we've done an hour's rest, and I'm going to say we've probably done about half an hour into this dungeon, going back into it. So, False Life. Okay, False Life lasts for an hour. Okay, so we shouldn't have that anymore. So he's going to cast. So he's going to cast False Life. Okay, that's completely fine. So he's going to cast False Life. So let's get back up to here as the spells. There we go. Okay, so we're going to change that to 1. False Life, which is going to be... False Life is 1d4 temporary hit points. Okay, it lasts for an hour. Okie dokie. Right, so let's have a look. So 1d4 plus 4. 8 temporary hit points. Okay, that's fine. Sorry, you can hear it again. That's my computer, not yours. Okay, so got 8 temporary hit points, which lasts for an hour. Okay. I don't think he's got anything for a bonus action. Not really, so he's just going to stay in position. So, yep. It's going to stay right in position. Okay, right here. Okay, and then the next one is going to be Cultist 1. So he's going to follow the same deal. So he's going to use a spell slot to cast Shield of Faith. So now he has 15. So let's put this is concentrate. So let me put concentration on both. Or actually, I could just do it this way, can I? Yeah, let's put C in the corner. C in the corner here, so we know which is which. And then it's a bonus action, so he's going to attack with Masher with the 2 dagger attacks. So D20 plus 4. First one is a hit, so that's 1d4 plus... that's 1d4 plus 2. Dealing 4 points of damage. Ouch. 4 points of damage, so this brings him back down from 25 to... what was it again? 25 to 21. Ouch. Wait, is he at max HP? Yeah, he's at max HP, so 21. He's down to 1 hit die left. Okay, just want to double check. Wait, yeah, 25 says here in the corner, right? So let's tell you what, actually, let me do this. Let me cross this out. So he's down to 21. Right, we still got another dagger attack inbound, so that's going to be a d20 plus 4 again, which is another hit. Ouch. 1d4 plus 2. Another 4 points of damage. Ow. Bringing him down from 21 to 18? No. 17. Jesus, so just like that, he's lost. Could be a damage, damn it. So that's going to be end of Cultist 2 turns on Mashes. Oh. Okay, and finally it's Krolux that's next, and it's the last one. Okay, so ally 25% HP, that's not, don't need Fallen, don't need Cade. Okay, ally outside of combat, cast Aid. Oh, I didn't know about that, sugar. Okay, highest max HP tank, cast Warding Bond. Which we could do, I suppose. Okay, self-range, so we're not in range. Group cast 3 or more, cast Bane. Nope, highest threat. Okay, so I think highest max HP, which probably will be Brovik, rather than the highest HP at this point in time, which I would say. Yeah, 21. Jonas is 18, so right, okay, so Krolux is going to move forward to here. And he is going to cast... let me get my brushes. Okay. So we're going to swipe that. Bring that to 2. So he's used up all his level 2 spell slots and he's going to cast Warding Bond. So Warding Bond, if you guys remember, if we can get it. Warding Bond. The spell, okay, plant ring of platinum worth 50 gold pieces each, worth the duration. Oh, we don't even have that. Oh, sure, I didn't even check. Oh, no, because the background says, sorry, the background from Warding Bond says that you can cast these without material components. Okay. The spell wards a willing creature you touch and creates a magical connection between you and the target until the spell ends. Each target is within 60 feet of you. While the target is within 60 feet of you, it gains a +1 to AC and saving throws, has resistance to all damage. Also, each time it takes damage, you take the same amount of damage. Spell ends if you drop to 0, or if you and the target becomes separated by more than 60 feet. Also ends the spell cast again on either connected creatures. You can also just master spell as an action. Okay then. Right, so he's going to cast it. So that's going to be... let's see what actually, let me do it here. So that's going to be WB roll. Just put that so I know. And he gains 17 AC +1 SW for saving throws. And where is this? Damage. There we go. Okay, so then as a bonus action as well, he's going to use... actually, no, he can't use it. I was going to say he's going to use a bonus... he's going to use a Bardic Inspiration, but we do not get back on a short rest, only a long rest. So that's his. So is there anything else he can do for his bonus action? Not really. That's it. He can move and attack with his dagger, I suppose. Says he's no, because that's Jesus' action. Warden bonds his action, so that's at the end of his turn. And then with that, we'll go back to Masha then. Okay, checking the time. Okay, right, I think I'm going to end it here then. So, with the introduction earlier, that was 13 minutes. This coming up to 18 minutes, so we are going to about half an hour episode, and that's the end of round 1, which I think is perfect. Just gonna leave it here then. Okay, so anyway, my friends, so far, so dangerous. Yeah, so Masha took a good couple of stabs, but unfortunately, Ghost One is still alive. It's a bad roll to start the battle off, so we'll see how the rest of the fight continue. Sorry, we'll see how the rest of the fight unfolds in the next episode. Apologies. Right, so anyway, my friends, that's going to be it for today's episode. So thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And apart from that, enjoy the rest of your awesome day and hope to see you next time. Take care.